let's keep this hockey talk, this hockey momentum going with KSL Sports Utah Mammoth insider Cole Bagley. All right, Cole, 2 games in this final so far, and they have absolutely delivered the excitement, both needing extra time to decide a winner. Give us your thoughts on these first couple of games.
Well,
This has been a great series.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that we've got the 2 best teams in the world going toe-to-toe. And it's interesting because they play a very different style of game, right? You've got the speed and finesse of the Oilers. You've got the bully-style hockey of the Panthers. And, you know, there's really no space, to separate these 2 teams. It's 1-1. And, of course, you saw that ending overtime forced there in the last minute. And then Marchand, of all people, to score the game winner. This is an incredible series, perhaps the best Stanley Cup Final we've had in maybe a decade or more.
Give us 5 more of these games.
Yes.
I think a lot of hockey fans would be thrilled with that. All right, you know what else we're thrilled with? The NHL Draft is now just about 3 weeks away, and Utah's still sitting there with that 4th overall pick. A lot to be excited about. We talked about a couple of options last week. Let's shift the focus this week to a couple of different players. First off, how about Boston College center James Higgins? At one point, he was thought to potentially be the #1 pick in this draft, but he could be there at number 4.
Yeah, for sure. You know, he started the season off the consensus #1 overall pick, but then he didn't have a bad season at Boston College, but he just wasn't quite to the level that I think a lot of teams and scouts were really anticipating. So he's dropped a little bit. There is a big potential that he could be there at 4, and if he is, and Utah decides to make him a Mammoth, there's no reason to dislike that. He is arguably the best playmaker in the draft. His vision, his handles, the way that he's able to, enter the offensive zone, and then his skating is simply elite. So that's a player that Utah would definitely be excited to have if they choose that's who they want to go with. And he's been compared to Jack Hughes, and there's even been some comparisons to Logan Cooley. So wouldn't be a bad thing to have 2 Logan Cooleys on your team.
Feels like these guys out of college may be a little more NHL ready too. Is that accurate, or?
It just kind of depends. A lot of guys will get drafted and then go back to the juniors or go back to college. It's mostly dependent on, are they at the level of the physicality and the speed? I think a guy like James Hagan definitely is up to the level of the speed physically. I don't know if he's quite there yet.
Yeah.
He's just barely 18 years old, so we'll see how he develops. But an exciting prospect nonetheless.
All right, another prospect that could be there on the radar for the Utah Mammoth. How about Brady Martin, a center in the Ontario Hockey League? He's seen his stock rise quite a bit lately. He's a Canadian farm boy who plays so well, he doesn't even have to work out in the offseason. Take a listen.
I just work on the farm. I obviously train a bit, but yeah, no, I haven't got too into hockey training. I'm more just kind of farm strong is what they call it, I guess. So yeah, that's kind of how I grew up and put on a lot of strength and muscle.
How do you not like this guy? Farm strong, I love it.
Yeah, if you guys watch that full clip, he talks about they've got, thousands of chickens and pigs and cows. I mean, how do you not fall in love with a kid like that? And this is a guy whose stock has really gone up over the last week at the Combine. And some scouts and reporters are even saying that Utah very well may pick this kid at number 4. And what I like about him and what a lot of people like about him is he's got a really high motor. On both ends of the ice, he's got a complete game. He goes hard to the net. He battles in the crease, and he's got an absolutely lethal shot. A lot of people say it is very, very close to being NHL ready, whether it's a snapshot, a wrist shot, or a slapper. It is absolutely lethal from any spot on the ice. So he's a guy to definitely keep an eye on, someone that Utah very well could be trending towards taking with that 4th overall selection.
What is it that you think stood out that's kind of propelled his stock upwards?
He fits the mold of what Bill Armstrong is looking for right now. When you think about what they've done over the last month or so, they're just getting bigger, and this is a guy that helps them not necessarily get a lot bigger, but a lot more physical. They need size and they need scoring, and that's what I think Martin really offers in the draft, is a guy that's has a lot of potential. There's been some comparisons to Sam Bennett, which is always a good name, or Matthew Nyes of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So an exciting prospect who's gaining a lot of traction right now and is looking pretty good to the Mammoth, according to a lot of people.
Okay, a lot to be excited about, a lot to look forward to between now and 3 weekends from now for the NHL Draft. Cole, thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely.